core organizer of the Rise Teen Expo and Shark Day at the Mall events, which many of you benefited from. Academically, of course, this man's a genius, scoring a platinum certificate in WorkKeys assessments, earning his certificate of completion in marketing. He is a member of Upward Bound and the National Technical Honor Society, and he was a finalist of the National Merit Scholarship. Still, all of this pales to the achievement he holds near and dear to his heart. He is your reigning prom king. Still, when our conversation had ended, I could only think of one word to describe him. Spider-Man. That's right, Spider-Man. Graduates, raise your hand if you at least know or heard of Spider-Man. Thank God. Okay. For decades, Spider-Man has endured as arguably the greatest comic book character ever created. Not because he is the strongest, he is not. Not because he is the richest, the fastest, or most feared, he is none of those things. Spider-Man matters because Peter Parker matters. You see, people think that Peter Parker is the alter ego of Spider-Man, but it's really the other way around. There's an interesting parallel for the life of Peter Parker and perhaps our own journey here tonight. Behind the mask is not a god, not a king, not an alien or a billionaire. Behind the mask is a student, a young person trying to balance responsibility, expectation, exhaustions, fear, ambition, friendships, families, and the overwhelming pressure of becoming something meaningful in a very complicated world. Peter Parker spends his life moving between two worlds. In one world, he is Spider-Man, courageous, capable, and admired. In the other, he is Peter Parker, stressed about deadlines, struggling to keep up, trying not to let people down, carrying the burdens no one else can see. And if we're honest, that sounds a lot like life of a graduating senior. For those of you still following along, I just want to take a moment to clarify, your class salutatorian is not Spider-Man. Relax, Shinez. Calm down. Rather, your class salutatorian is more like Peter Parker, because he understands the excellence has a hidden cost. People see the accomplishments, the grades, the awards, the recognition. They see the polished version, the Spider-Man version, but they rarely see the Peter Parker side of his story. They do not always see the nights he spent studying while others slept, the pressure to succeed, the moments of self-doubt, the sacrifices made quietly, the balancing act between school, family, friendships, and responsibilities. In the same way that Peter Parker and Spider-Man reminds us that ordinary people are capable of extraordinary things, your class salutatorian also reminds us that a student can become a leader, a challenge can become a triumph, a young person carrying pressure can still rise with grace. Perhaps his superpower tonight is bringing people together, building memories, creating a legacy, helping all of us believe that we can be heroes too. In this way, this regular guy has been a part of our journey all along. He's been among you, quietly working in the background until you needed him the most, until you needed him to be Spider-Man. Class of 2026, with great power comes great responsibilities, and with great potential comes great sacrifice. And this average guy has demonstrated that over and over again. It is my distinct honor to introduce to you your friendly neighborhood prom king, Evan Dean Cruz Toves.
Distinguished guests, administrators, faculty, teachers, families, and my fellow graduates, good morning.
Good morning.
So first and foremost, I would like to extend a special thank you to those who truly impacted me on this challenging and eventful high school journey. Most importantly, to my father, to my mother, to my brother, and my extended family, thank you for raising me up to this point in my life. Thank you for everything you've ever done for me. I truly love and appreciate all of you. To Mrs. Masanayan, our assistant principals, our counselors, and our faculty, thank you for your tremendous efforts in making students feel welcome and keeping our shark identity alive even when we didn't have our own physical school. Every time I walked into any of your offices or talked to any of you, I really felt like I belonged. To all my teachers, thank you for tolerating my shenanigans in class and helping me grow in all sorts of ways. Well, except vertically, unfortunately, but beggars can't be choosers. And there are two teachers I would especially like to recognize, as they have supported me for 3 long, exhausting years. To Mr. Ryan Flores, thank you for your animated personality, your unique perspectives, and for helping my confidence and mathematical ability grow in ways I never thought possible. Because of you, I've come to appreciate math even more than I did before. To Mrs. Catherine Chargaloff, thank you for your compassion, your encouragement, and your strong leadership. They have helped me mature in ways I have never imagined. And because of you, I've learned how to build lasting bonds and how to stay resilient when faced with an overwhelming amount of work. I am proud to have been your student for 3 consecutive years, even if both of you wanted to strangle me sometimes. Sorry about that. To the other teachers, including those I never had the opportunity to learn from in class, I want to say thank you as well. Never stop caring about your students. It's one of the most important qualities a teacher can have, and each of you in the time that I have known you have demonstrated this quality. And to all my friends, thank you for making school worth attending. Thank you Ezekiel Damian, Isaiah Vela, Jamie Valencia, Rosanna Taloma, Glenisha Espinoza, Liam Sarange, Niger De Vega, Alyssa Pangilinan, and thank you Lurwana, my academic rival, for always being a thorn in my side. I appreciate you for never making it too easy to win any of our little battles. And I would continue this list of people I'm thankful for, but as you can see, it's a bit too long. We'd probably be sleeping over at the gym tonight. Thank you. Now, just in case I've lost some of your attention, why don't we play a game that, to my knowledge, hasn't been played for over 10 years. It's a very simple game that I've stayed hidden, tucked away under my sleeve. And this little guy is Bartholomew. Bartholomew the pineapple. See, it's very simple. When I say the word pineapple and I hold this little guy up, all I want you to do is make some noise and cheer as loud as you can. So why don't we give it a try? So without further ado, pineapple. Perfect. Throughout high school, I've always wondered what I would say to all of you if I ever earned the privilege of giving this speech. At different points, I thought I would talk about proving doubters wrong, or pushing forward even when you're exhausted and want to go to sleep, even when it's 3 a.m. Or maybe talking about becoming the best version of yourself, as our actions affect not only us, but the people around us as well. But as I progressed through our final year, I realized that there wasn't really much that I could say to any of you, because we've heard it all before. Live in the present, never give up, work hard, believe in yourself. We've heard it a million times over and over. And so I found myself wondering, how could I make one last impact with this 6 to 7 minute speech? Because truthfully, to most of the 2,000 plus people in attendance, I am just some guy on the stage. And you may forget my words as soon as my speech ends, as soon as this graduation ends, maybe in the next 10 seconds. I just so happened to earn the second highest GPA, unfortunately, and somehow ended up wearing this crown as prom king. Even among those who know me, some may not truly care for what I have to say. In fact, some of you guys in the crowd are probably not paying attention right now. So why don't we test it, guys? Pineapple! Maybe I was wrong. So then, what could I possibly say to any of you? And I concluded that perhaps there isn't any profound answer to this question. Maybe we simply have to live our own lives and figure it out. Do things, fail, succeed, move forward. And you don't have to be extraordinary. And this is kind of how I came up here to the stage. All I did was try to do well on one assignment, and then the next, then the next, and then the next. And eventually, I stand before you as the SSHS Class of 2026 Salutatorian. This is the process of how all my other accomplishments came to be as well. One task after another. However, to be frank, I've never felt much joy or pride from most of the perfect scores, award certificates, and my other victories, both small and large, even becoming salutatorian. In fact, I remember when it became official, I didn't even tell my parents right away. On the last day of school, when Mr. Orlin asked Lyra and me how we and our parents felt about our ranks, I just said, I didn't tell anyone. I forgot. And this wasn't because I was ungrateful. It was because the achievement itself didn't feel as important as the experiences that led to it. From the crash outs and late night studying, to the funniest conversations and constant bickering with my friends that most have likely forgotten by now. And these moments are what gave my accomplishments meaning. I know what I'm saying may be a bit philosophical, maybe abstract, or a bit vague, but let me put it into perspective. I might have actually spent a bit too much time researching the statistic, but did you guys know that 10 out of 10 people die? Mind-blowing, right? Well, we don't have unlimited time, and every moment we spend is one we will never get back. So just go and do the things that matter to you. Take chances, try your best, pursue your dreams, make mistakes, make an impact, gain cherished memories, fall in love. And if it works, then hooray! And if it doesn't, well, maybe you can try again. So go and do it, because at the end of the day, if you really think about it, do we really have anything else better to do? And so I guess there was something I had to say to all of you after all. In fact, I'd actually add one more thing to my message before I close off my speech. Pineapple! To the class of 2026, I extend my deepest congratulations. We've survived 4 years full of blood, sweat, and tears. And now let us continue that momentum in our future and create meaning by moving forward again and again. And to end my speech, for one last time, and perhaps my final act as prom king, pineapple!
That's my king.